May it be a light for you in dark places when all other lights go out.
Hey guys, this is DCHL Devin here.
And this is DCHL Walker.
And welcome to another episode of A Light in the Dark. And this is our question and answer episodes where you guys post questions in the comment section below and we go ahead and answer them. We find questions from all over our comment sections in all of our different videos, so feel free to post anywhere. And also on top of that, we also, unlike the GBHL Speak for Any question, we also pull questions from the One Ring forums and the Last Alliance forums, just staying in touch with the community and what's going on, giving you the news. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead into the first question, which comes from Paulo. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce his his last name here. He says, "Hey guys, great job with all your videos. In my opinion, the shorter videos are a way better choice." And we appreciate that. Definitely always look for feedback.
Yes, feedback, good.
And he says, maybe you should consider a background. Yours, it's too white. Just trying to keep up, just trying to help out. Keep up the good work.
You are correct, good sir, and we both have talked about this over and over again. Unfortunately, we're still in the process of making our stuff, all our videos better.
Yeah.
So the background you see is the wall of my dining room.
We are actually trying to work on like green screens and stuff like that.
So we can do like cool pictures of battles in the background. That'd be
Yeah,
really fun.
Exactly. Lots of distracting images, so that way you don't pay attention.
Flash the bubbles we're talking about.
So when we give terrible advice, you can look at that. No.
Strobe them.
No,
we should try to hypnotize everybody.
I agree.
Yes. That way they would, come here, play more Hobbit with us.
Exactly. Come to DC.
Come to DC,
and
play
with
against
DCHL.
us. Especially in the Nova Open. Throwing that in.
We definitely need a background. I agree. It takes time. Unfortunately, we don't get paid for this or anything, so, it's just whatever money we have spare lying around allows us to buy the backgrounds and a better camera. So
we are working on it.
Yes. So, but we definitely appreciate the fact that you still support us, despite the fact that we have a white wall. So hopefully
we will try to improve in the future.
So the next question we have is from Clint Whitney. It says, "Hey guys, what is your most anticipated model that may or may not be released from the Battle of Five Armies?"
Which one's yours?
Oh man,
can you not think of one? Because
no. I'm trying to think of one. You know what? Honestly, the one I really would love to see a set of rules for, probably no one's thinking of or even saying. Obviously, the the Ram Riders. That's like number one. Everyone's saying that
because that was so cool.
They are an awesome thing. I mean, I never actually wanted cavalry for dwarves at first, but
the Rams are cool.
Yeah,
it makes sense for them,
and it makes sense.
Or the pig.
Yeah. Dane on the pig. But to give my answer, and this is the one that no one's really saying that I kind of really would love to see rules for, is the wereworms that come out of the ground and like make tunnels. Now, in game terms, I'm not really sure of how devastating these would be. I'd imagine they'd be like the Watcher, where they like bring in a warband through a hole or something like that.
Or a whole army.
Yeah, or maybe a whole army. Maybe they can come and tear up formations. I'm not sure how they work, but they just would add a whole new dynamic to gameplay, and that is cool to me. So that is probably my most anticipated model from the Battle of Five Armies. What about you? Well, and by the way, I'm pretty aware that model is probably the least likely one to ever be made. So there's that.
Something I'm actually looking forward to at the end, when Thorn's fighting and everything at the very end of the movie, the Goblin mercenaries all up in armor and everything like that. I like playing Goblin Town, and it'd actually be really cool to have goblins with some armor. Like,
and it'd be nice to see them with something new.
Yeah,
they really need an upgrade. So, I'd have to probably say those are probably the top for us. Me and Walker.
Besides the Rams, obviously.
The Ram
That's the obvious choice.
In the community, though, it's going to be obvious the Ram Riders are the 100% most requested, hands down.
All the Iron Hill dwarves. There's a lot of them, so
exactly.
That'd be cool, too.
So, great question. We all know that we want to see the Battle of Five Armies guys come out.
Yes.
So, next one is a question from One Good Riddance. And he said, will we see that guy on a battle report?
Yes,
Yep.
sadly.
Yeah, he actually will be. A lot of people are actually kind of curious, is he a character? Is that the real person actually kind of acts like he does in a sense, in a vague sense. He doesn't cheat in games, or does he?
Like you.
Like me. No, he doesn't like cheat in games or anything, but he does have that kind of personality. So it's kind of half a character, half not. But
Should be fun.
he's not that much of a douche, though. If you do see that guy in a bat rep, more than likely what he's going to do is play the most broken armies that we can possibly play. And we will show you how to fight against them. So if you ever wanted to know how to fight against Reavers with shades and and half trolls,
This already makes me depressed.
he will probably be playing those armies. So,
I can beat him too.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And actually, you know what? For those of you who are not aware of who that guy is basically a character who plays broken stuff. And you'll see videos with him in our future episodes. We actually like making videos of his. It's kind of a humorous way to do it.
They're entertaining by far.
Yeah.
And plus, there was the smog one you just did with that guy, and he was just like, just take smog.
Yeah, that's because that's pretty
700
much
port army.
it's pretty
take
much
smog.
ridiculous.
You're good.
700 points. All right, bring Smaug.
Exactly. So it was just something fun.
But yeah, you'll definitely see him in future battle reports. So Akathon39 says, you mentioned on a video that some guys were working on some Battle of Five Armies profiles. Do you know where I could have a look at them? Because it sounds really interesting. All right.
We got that one from the One Ring. The one we were talking
yes.
about.
All right. So there's multiple places where you can find it. Number one, if you guys look on our website, the DCHobbitLeague.com website, there is someone who actually is already producing kind of a fan-made set of rules that are being worked on with the One Ring forums. They have some Battle of Five Armies profiles. You can find it. It's actually called the Fan-Made Supplements. That's a section on my website. And as far as other stuff from that, one thing I had mentioned was, especially if we could get the GBHL on it, and they kind of are already seeming to go that direction. If you guys haven't heard, they made a new magazine, and it actually has profiles. It has 4 profiles for like just alternate versions of models that already exist. It's not Battle of Five Armies, but it's models that already exist. And you can kind of see us going in that direction where it's probably going to be the fans who make the set of rules for Games Workshop. And one idea I had was, we know a company that will produce models for us, and it was just a way to where we can make some fan-made rules, put it out in a magazine just like the GBHL does, and we give that out to the community. So you will see us doing that in the future, especially as we start to delve into magazines just like the GBHL does.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much where you would find it, is for the current set made by One Ring username, I believe his name is Paradigm, and yeah, it's on our website.
Yep.
So another question, we'll go ahead and round up the questions with another one by Akathon39, and this is actually from a previous video where he gave us a list. And he didn't say how many points it was or really what it was for, and he just now has clarified it for us, and we appreciate that.
600 points.
Yep. So 600 points, and if we can't remember it, which we can't, so thanks for posting again. It's Gimli, 4 Kazakh Guard, 4 Dwarves with Shields, a King's Champion with 2 Heralds, more Kazakh Guard, more Shields. Basically, like 30 total.
30 total models.
Yeah.
So breaking point of
16 models.
Actually, it would be 15.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, I don't know where 16
Your 50% is 15, not 16.
Well, if your total starts at 30. And then you need to kill... he's going to count them for you. So... But yeah, I mean, even at that limit, at 600 points, that's actually a pretty strong list. And the best part is, you actually have some solid hitters. I still say use Marin and Gerard to upgrade the strength of your dwarves. But if you don't do that, you can just use Piercing Strike to get those hard hitters where you want. It's just, by using Marin and Gerard, you didn't have to use it. And the thing is, you didn't have to lower your defense. Is it 30 models?
30 models, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, 30, so your breakpoint's 15.
Yeah,
So
great points for teams. Okay, dude.
he says he's bringing it to the GBHL's next Desolation of Stockport tournament. A lot of people know about those. They're really exciting stuff. We are so mad we cannot attend those.
I wish I lived in England.
Yes, we do. So, Desolation of Stockport, and he said he would love to come to Nova, but with GCSE in the next few months, and him living in England, and him being only 16, it'd be hard to make it. Well, you should figure it out. No, we completely understand. A lot of our fans would probably be in England, and we completely understand if you can't make it. But definitely support the GBHL, because if you guys are in England, you should be going to Desolation of Stockport.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because they have awesome tournaments, or so I've heard. I will definitely making an appearance soon in the future. Not too soon.
You're going to England?
Yes.
Can you pack me in your bag?
We will definitely pack some bags
Sweet.
to go to England. You might see some surprises actually in the future as far as who shows up where. So, as far as his scenarios, it's to the death, Lords of Battle, seize the prize, hold ground, and domination. Basically everything that's in the source books. And
good missions.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's wondering how this compares to his last list: Thorn Oakenshield and Orcrist, 10 Erebor shields and spears. Basically a lot of Erebor warriors. Dwalin. So basically Erebor versus his new
Commander Gimli.
Yeah, I honestly think that the new one is better. Only because, here's the deal. Your Erebor list that you're talking about, all your guys have lower defense. Hold on. It looks
the Erebor doesn't have lower defense than normal.
He's got 10 Erebor dwarves.
But shields have the same defense as regular dwarf warriors.
Oh, they do. They have 7 defense.
I keep trying to tell him this, but he doesn't listen to me.
He has to correct me sometimes.
All the time. Anyways, the reason why I would say your new list with Gimli in is a little bit better, and it's because of the Kazakh Guard. Kazakh Guard automatically pass the courage test so long as your general's on the field. And that's one of the biggest bonuses, especially going after those monsters, ring race, things like that. Anything that causes terror, those guys are going to be able to just run in there. They don't need a banner. They don't need to take courage checks. Even when you break, you don't need to worry about it. Plus, they have a good high defense. Two-handed axe, so if you get doubled up on a couple of guys, you have the advantage. You can use that to your...
Plus, also looking at this, I think he's got more might. More might in his...
Gimli has what, 3?
Gimli has 3 points of might. King's Champion has 2.
2.
Mern and Dror have 2 each, I believe.
2 each, so that's...
Maybe 3 each. I forgot.
I don't have it in front of me.
Here's the other thing. Your breaking point is higher. I mean, with every dwarf being so damn hard to kill. Man, Dwalin and Thorn are beastly, but
Kazakh Guards is defense is 7, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your whole list is D7
That's
in your new
awesome.
one.
Even if your opponent has strength 4, they need 6s to take you out.
Well, as part of his question, he asks, what do you think of these lists separately, and how best can I combine them to optimize it? He's finding it difficult to reason Iron Guard into the list, hence not being in list 1.
I agree with you. Iron Guard are hard sometimes. They have 1 point less of defense, so defense is 6. They do have the thrown weapons, and they do have the extra attack. But most of the time, I almost want an extra defense because you're dwarfs. All
right, combining. You want to combine these armies.
Dwalin
is so much better than Gimli.
Erebor guys with spears and shields.
And I think he's a lot better than Gimli is. And there's similar points too. Dwalin is 1.
You can't say that.
Yeah, that's right. There's similar points. So, I'm gonna say if you want to combine them,
make Dwalin your leader and then take.
Is Dwalin better than King's Champion?
Yeah, but the King's Champion gives you 2 banners.
Oh yeah, that can't be ignored.
No,
the King's Champion.
You need to keep King's Champion.
Dwalin is a lot more killy. He will, destroy faster.
Dar.
I still say
Both wouldn't necessarily mean.
I would actually be very curious why you're bringing Mern and Dror. That's really the curiosity. And if it is all about that might, gosh, do we have the book? No, we don't.
I have the book. Yeah.
Do we have the dwarf book?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here, let's get that.
We are getting the book.
All right, and we're back with the book.
Ta-da!
All right, so we see why you're bringing Mern and Gerard. Yeah, 3 points of Mighty Peak, that's hard. So instead, my recommendation, take out Gimli. Here's what I'm saying with Gimli. Gimli, this is my opinion, I'll go give it. Gimli is your powerhouse. It looks like all he's being used for is to kill stuff. Dwalin does it better. Dwalin doesn't have quite the defense, I understand that, but, I mean, you're talking strength 5 plus burly. I mean, you're hitting hard with that. Does this guy...
He has burly too, basically. But he can choose to have 3 attacks if he uses 2 axes.
Alright, so...
But Dwalin has extra strength.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna hit harder. I mean, much, much harder. And I think... for me, if I have to go and put a thing between Dwalin and Gimli, if you're trying to combine the list, I'd be really hesitant to give up my King's Champion because of the banners.
Yep.
And I'd be really hesitant to give up Mern and Gerard, considering they are a might powerhouse for their points. So, yeah, I guess... And not just might, but I mean, Mern and Gerard themselves, they're pretty stocky. I mean...
They're good for doors.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Great against bad guy armies.
Yeah.
Morin wound, Root gets to reroll failed wounds against orcs, goblins, and Urkai.
So I would say, yeah, Gimli for Dwalin. That's my opinion. Yeah. My final answer. If not Gimli for Dwalin, then... In fact, they're the same points, too.
Just about.
They are, yeah. They're
close.
Just very, very close. So it wouldn't even be a hard investment to take up.
So the only reason why I would put in Erebor with the list that you have is to give you spears.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
If you don't feel like you need the spear support, don't worry about it. If you do think that would help your fighting prowess...
Because Gimli's on par, yeah.
Yeah. So. I would swap... I'd probably agree. Swap out Gimli for Dwalin and then put in Warriors of Erebor with spears. And I'd probably put in 1 or 2 Iron Guard because of those thrown weapons, because they can charge in on the flanks.
And honestly, I think Dwalin would help out in Lords of Battle, and he would help out in... Yeah, definitely Lords of Battle and Caesar Prize probably he'd help out in too, because I mean he could slaughter anybody. I mean,
he could slaughter anybody and everything.
Yeah,
by himself.
I mean, when you have the King's Champion and Dwalin kicking butt out there, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've probably spent long enough on that question, so we're gonna go ahead to our next part of the video where we talk about things and news that are happening in the community, the One Ring forums, and the Last Alliance forums. All right, and for our first question on the One Ring forums comes from Arthas367, and basically he wanted to compare High Elves versus Wood Elves. And if you guys see my how to play videos, I actually try to cover these at length. And so he goes through the pros and cons of each. And what are the pros of the High Elves?
Pros of the High Elves: top-notch heroes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Elrond, Glorfindel, Gil-galad.
All right. Multiple heroes with Nature's Wrath. Rivendell Knights. I'm just going to run through them. Rivendell Knights, which have been a fan favorite for a while. And up to defense 6 on normal troops, which is huge for elves.
They need it.
Yeah. Cons: very expensive basic troops. Mostly named heroes, or most named heroes are costly.
Yeah. Although there is some Aristor.
They're still kind of costly, but yeah, they're cheaper version.
Cheaper.
Yeah. Very little unit variety, which is a serious problem, and access to knights. Must take a Hobbit variety hero, and that's true too. Wood Elves, the pros. Access to cheap elves.
Yeah, with no armor on.
Yeah. Decent amount of units to select from. Good selection of great heroes from mid to mid and high cost. And Fight 6 pikes.
Yes.
Which is very true.
Palace Guard, right?
Yeah, the Galadrim Fountain. Galadrim Court Guard. Or
Court Guard.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cons: very low defense overall.
Oh, extremely low, some of the lowest in the game.
Yeah, I pretty much they're on par with like Goblin Town.
Goblin Town, and they're naked with loincloths.
Yep, and higher costed. Cav is very overcosted, and characters can't really slug it out with other heavy hitters, Rumble excluded, and lack combat prowess powerhouses in general. And so basically, it looks like he just wants to see which one he wants to choose. And you want to give your opinion, or you want me to start? Or
overall, I would say High Elves as my main force. The reason being is they have those great characters that Nature's Wrath can do a lot of damage on the battlefield. Your mainline troops can stick around for a long time, even when overwhelmed by numbers, because that fight value, you really get the most use out of it because you're staying alive, even if you happen to lose 1 or 2 fights. It's very hard to kill you. I mean, they go up to defense, 5, 6 with a shield, and they can have a fight better than some characters, which is always good. Yeah, you have some of the most expensive troops and everything like that, but they make up for it in other ways. So you can't really necessarily compare that. I would do them as my main force. What about you?
All right. Well, not even the sake of debate, but now keep in mind, this is just our opinions here. But actually, I would say the Wood Elves. When we're talking about a new force, variety, in my opinion, is key. When you're talking about how much fun you want to have with an army, the fact that Wood Elves have that variety is always good. The Fight 6 is a massive advantage for the High Elves, but as mentioned, the Fight 6 can be achieved amongst the Wood Elf ranks with their pikemen. And Nature's Wrath is a staple within the Wood Elves as well. They're Stormcallers, a basic unit that can be spammed. It can cast this as well. Sure, you don't get quite the defense, but with Fight 5, you're hoping to be able to get out around that. Not only that, the Elven Cloaks protect you from arrows, of course, if you have them. But you're excel in woods, so if you are worried about being shot at, you, 1, have superior firepower, but also 2, you excel in woods, so why not stay in the trees where you get the in the ways?
Yep.
So, in my opinion, for those reasons, I would pick the Wood Elves, just because I think, in my opinion, they're more fun to play.
More of a challenge, too.
Yeah,
but if you play them right, you're good.
Yep.
You're good.
So, there's no real answer to that, but you guys let us know in the comment section, maybe what's your favorite? If you had to pick between Wood Elves and High Elves, let us know. What would you pick? So, I think we're going to go ahead and leave it off at that, just to keep the videos short, as we're trying to keep these ones shorter, and then we can keep posting them. Just as a little bit of a news feed that goes on. So, thanks for watching this video. You have anything left for them, Walker?
Bye, guys.
See you next time.